That man, back again for another thriller, baby. Like, subscribe, comment, share, do it all, baby. Let me know how you feel, man. One thing to everybody out there, though. Make sure you follow your dreams. It's not up to nobody else to follow your dreams but yourself. You understand? So get the job done, baby. But what we got going on today with that man Dooley is a little NFC Championship talk. You know, Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman, Molly Karam. You know, let's chime in, everybody. Y'all know what time it is. That man. Okay.
Thinking about Michael Thomas. This brother had 211 receiving yards. Now, I don't expect that this week. I certainly don't expect that. But if you Marcus Peters, you clearly got some making up to do. Now, the job is going to be considerably easier because he's got to keep Talib on the opposite side of the field with them. And he's just a better player when he's on the same field with Aqib Talib. That's just the way that it is. Fair enough. But I still give New Orleans the advantage because they're at home. And as Max has said on many occasions to his credit, they're just a different team at the Superdome. And to me, the absence of Cooper Kupp is a huge, huge deal. I don't care how they looked against the Dallas Cowboys. And by the way, they were running the football as opposed to passing. They threw the football 28 times. They ran the football 48 times. I just think this is a situation where New Orleans in this particular game is going to have to bring their A game. I was appreciative of the fact that they were down 35-17 and came back and tied the score before ultimately losing to New Orleans.
Let's talk about how the Saints ain't been playing up the par lately, if you ask me. Last couple weeks of the season, Saints weren't playing New Orleans Saints football. You know, did they beat the Rams in the Dome? Absolutely, but you know what? The Rams are coming back, baby. And guess what? They're coming back to play. Not only do the Rams have a better defense, they have the better offense. Yes, I said it. Gurley is a weapon, okay? Is Goff as good as Breeze? Absolutely not. But he's pretty good. Okay, but with Gurley in the mix, come on now. The Saints defense ain't gonna know what to do, baby. The Rams going to the Dome to win. That's all I'm saying, okay? And I like the Rams defense better than I like the Saints defense, okay? That man, back to the footage, man.
45-35 in November, but I'm still of the mindset that this game being in New Orleans is a minus for the Los Angeles Rams, particularly without the services of Kupp. I think it's going to be a problem, and I think the key to this game is going to be the pressure that Ndamukong Suh and those boys are able to apply up the middle towards Drew Brees to make him uncomfortable and force him to have to look over defenders in his face to throw the football. I basically make that as LA's only chance of winning this game.
I think LA has a really good chance to win, but I would agree that the Saints have the advantage. Not only did they win in the first game, they have home field, where, as you mentioned, and I'm not the only one saying it, Drew Brees and company are very different. Also, the Saints hit the highest peak maybe this year. It's either the Rams early or the Saints about two-thirds of the way through the season in the regular season. And the difference was the Saints were stout against the run and the Rams weren't. However, I'm noticing a trend in these playoffs. The Patriots suddenly were running the ball, right? And were quite good defensively. Well, why is that? Same thing with the Chiefs. The Chiefs, they had no run defense all year until suddenly they were vicious against the run. What happened there? And the same thing with the Rams and the Cowboys. Now, you could say, well, they knew what was coming on defense, so the Rams could really run the ball. But how does it explain what they were doing to Ezekiel Elliott? And I think what's happening is this. The top four offensive teams are the Chiefs, the Rams, the Saints, and the Patriots.
Hold on real quick, Max. The reason they did that to Ezekiel Elliott is because Dak Prescott is not a great quarterback. They simply just stacked the box on Zeke. Duh. Okay? That's all it was. Anyways, continue. Man.
Those are the four left. Teams like that, who are talented like that, particularly in a passing game, can downshift into a run-the-ball, stop-the-run kind of team. Because even though the run setting up the pass is talked about a lot throughout football history, the reverse can be true too. They didn't blitz Tom Brady, even though he was dead last among quarterbacks against the blitz this year, because they're afraid of what's going to happen. They didn't want to bring extra guys. That's the pass, setting up Sony Michel in the run. That's what that is. And I think we're noticing the same thing. So, throughout the league. So one of the reasons we would say Saints over Rams is not just home field, but they can both do things offensively, but one was stout against the run, the Saints, and the other wasn't, the Rams, except we're seeing that change now. I think the idea that the Rams and the Chiefs and in this case, the Rams against the Saints, have this defensive deficiency that can be exploited, I think we have to rethink that. So I think the Rams have a hell of a shot to win this game at New Orleans.
Rams definitely have a shot in this game for a couple of reasons. One, you pointed
Period.
out to it.
Period.
Aqib Talib will be playing in this game. That's going to be a big plus for.
One, you got Aaron Donald coming up the middle. Pretty much the defensive player of the year, ladies and gentlemen. You got Adama Suh lined up right next to Donald, okay? You got Talib, you got Marcus Peters, all right? That sounds like one hell of a defense to me, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Oh, look at me. Almost called them the St. Louis Rams. They're no longer the St. Louis Rams, everybody. They are now the Los Angeles Rams, okay? So the Los Angeles Rams absolutely have a shot to win this game, okay? And if you don't think so, lay off the pipe, all right?
That Rams defense, having basically your number one corner out there and pushing Marcus Peters to the number two, it does play a big factor. Number two, I want you to keep a big name that's going to be, I think it's going to be a huge difference for the New Orleans Saints. Sheldon Rankins, guy who got injured in that game and who might not play in the NFC Championship game. Had a career year this past year. Plays defensive tackle. Guess what the Rams have been doing as of lately? Running the football. So if there's ever a place where the New Orleans Saints are vulnerable, it'll be right up the middle with the absence of Sheldon Rankins at the defensive tackle position. When I watched the New Orleans Saints against the Philadelphia Eagles, there was one matchup that to me really stood out. Fletcher Cox. Fletcher Cox was just an animal.
When he was on the field, different game.
Yeah. When he was off, he got hurt. He got a foot injury. It changed the complexity of the Philadelphia Eagles defense. Now entering Aaron Donald and Ndamukong Suh, two guys in the end.
What the man's saying is they're soft up the middle, coach. Okay? You're running up their ass. Okay? Sheldon Rankins is hurt. A player that's supposed to be dominating the defensive front for the New Orleans Saints. Now, you're going to give it to Gurley like I told you earlier. And it's over. Okay? We sipping champagne. We're headed to the Super Bowl. Okay, baby? Anyways, this that man Dooley. I seen enough of this footage. They gon' ramble and ramble and ramble. I appreciate you watching. Like, subscribe. You feel me? Let me know how you feel, man. Dream Chaser, that man.